together today. Good to know. I see the Steelers lost.
Yep.
Mr. Bacon. Dick Bacon is here tonight. You know, my Packers look pretty freaking good against KC.
Hey, it's only 6:22 in the morning for Mr. Bacon. He's pretty dedicated.
Well, he's probably in love, you know. He'll wake up man up a little. He said, read comments. Well, I'll leave that up to you as a co-pilot, sort of, because I feel that everybody's grown up enough here that they can read themselves. I mean, usually people are engaged in conversations. I don't want to interrupt the conversation. Just saying. Wheels on a Bus used to go round and round. Now I don't know what they do now, because I've been retired for 3 years now, I think. 3 years. Is that right, Kiko? Around?
I don't believe I've ever ridden a bus in the States. I take that back. I did once when I was on vacation in Hawaii.
My experiences were, when I was young, my mother had to go downtown. She took a taxi. But I used to go roller skating all the time. Friday, Saturday night. And when I got my driver's license, I thought that was the last time I'd have, see a bus. So little did I know I'd be doing it 23 years after that. And in a bus like I used to ride in, I was the last person tested. We called them rehabs because they had Allison transmission and a Detroit motor, a million miles on it. And I was the last person road tested on a rehab. The one with the fishbowl windshield. No air conditioning. Matter of fact, when I started, we were about 6 months away from summer. So. Mr. Bacon's here. Oh, Slayer's ready. Oh, ready for what?
Oh man, I forgot. What's his name? David's last night, right? Didn't he have one last night?
I don't know. He has his on.
It was early this morning for you.
Nah, I missed that one.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I never know, I just, when I plan on it, it doesn't happen. What about the fuck did I wake up?
I was Wednesday morning for me is when he normally has his, and he didn't have one. But it said something about the next one scheduled for Thursday night, our time, which would be Friday morning, your time.
So every time I see it, I'm thinking, well, that ain't for me, because he does those on whenever, But the one for you guys at like 9 or 10 p.m. or something like that. So when I look at it, I'm kind of miffed because it has, the same notification. I don't get that notification personally. So, but anyway, I mean, I usually the fucking latest I wake up is, or like tomorrow will be 8 a.m.
I've seen on the our old earthquake page, there's a few more shakers in the last few days.
Yeah. Every day. Last year when I was here, last year we had minor tremors that were about 10 seconds, real mild, and a couple of them. And then this year I was waiting for that, and I had really felt that.
That was like 30 miles offshore from my wife's hometown. It was like direct.
Yeah.
Her aunt and cousins went up to the evacuation shelter for like 2 days, I think. Stayed there. But I don't think her aunt has like Alzheimer's, so she don't know what's going on.
My cousin that I hardly ever. No, he's retired. His mom passed away, so talks to me a little bit more, but responds anyway. But he heard about a tsunami possible, and I said, "Well, we're we're about 5-10 miles in from the north, south of the Philippine Sea. And my other cousin on my mom's side, Doug, he said, that shit can go up to 100 miles or more. Well,
Yeah, but you've got the big old horn of like Surigao City, that
but
landmass blocking you from the east side. So I don't think
yeah, well, that's
Luzon would be
east.
threatened much.
I'm talking about from the north, not from the east.
Right.
And
But
I started thinking about this, and I thought to myself, but still, I mean, when my house is done, I'm getting a fucking boat, the kind that you fish in, and I'm gonna have that fucker here. On the off chance that someday that we have
you might
tsunami.
need it. Right.
Yes, exactly. I don't know what they cost, but how could you not? So my only fear is that too many people will want on them.
Right.
And I'm not going to pass up my family.
Yeah, my wife's where she grew up was like 100 meters from the water. So if there would have been any size of a tsunami, that little hollow block structure that I built for her aunt, it would have been underwater. It probably would have survived, structurally, but it would have been underwater.
What I see here a lot is the hollow block. In America, they do a clean, they clean it up, the contour, But here they leave the mortar on the outside. Well, it's help build a base, but when you do the stucco, part. But when you look at it, you think, they believe in rebar and concrete.
Yeah, there's a lot of wasted mortar hanging off all those joints.
Yeah,
a lot of wasted mortar.
And there again, why ask? Don't bother asking because you're not going to get a solid answer. So it works. That's all I can say is all the structures here. Wait a minute, all the structures here. I think Robinson's had some shit that collapsed, but there was no. A lot of people screaming here, but there was no. Serious damage to anybody's heart.
I tell you what, Tony, I've mixed mortar in my life, and the last thing I'd want to do is waste mortar. Mixing it because I've mixed it by hand, and that ain't a fun job. Okay, but then to go and just let a lot of it just hanging off your joints. I mean,
it looks like
I guess you don't care. I mean,
it looks like a German bunker. It looks like a German bunker, but what I think it is their style of doing it is if it's on there, so what? Because you're going to build it out about an inch or two anyway.
Yeah, but I don't think that rendering goes out that far, and that just makes it more difficult to render. You got all those bumps.
I understand that, but they march to a beat of a different drum.
Yep.
When I see them, when I had my last couple of boxes I shipped, the one rat lived in one, but I got a Lebo in that I've had for years, and it made me think. Whenever there's something, it's they do it with fish line and by eyeballing. But it works, man. It works because you've seen churches. Some churches have been here standing since 1500. They've barely been touched, if at all.
Right.
That's got to tell you something about a little more than luck there.
It's just amazing me with all the earthquakes that place has experienced over the hundreds of years that those churches can still stand like that.
Yeah, I mean, one of them a couple years back, it was built in the 1500s, and it had its first time being damaged.
The odds.
Well, here, Pfizer. See, Viking should come up. He's usually jacking off. Oh, there's our old.
Is that Pfizer from? Where's she from? Malaysia?
Malaysia? Nah, no. South of that.
Indonesia.
Yeah.
Indonesia. Yeah, Jakarta is the capital, right, of
Yeah,
Indonesia.
well, yeah, she's east of that. They're moving the
Right.
cap.
Mhm.
They're moving the capital east of that because slowly but surely, Jakarta's you know,
Going
taking out.
underwater.
Yeah, well, you know, in Miami, they started to address that issue. They've been doing that for the last couple of years with like they made up some like man-made canal kind of thing, and they've really opened themselves up to business now. So here comes some more sinkhole accidents. You know, more you can't keep piling shit on sand. You know, but I gotta tell you, I love Florida, man. Oh my god! Every
Hello.
time I went, every time I went down there back in the '90s, I went from 30, fucking winter to being in my shorts, just the sound of at the beach, the sound of the waves being the only thing I hear. It's so peaceful. You know? I love it there. Liza, you gonna come on live tonight, Liza?
Hello, Pfizer.
Maybe she got married and she don't got time.
Right. Yeah, I forgot you are Indonesian, Pfizer. Sorry.
Well, she speaks the languages some like people got. I knew what that was, but it took me a while because I figured everybody
Right.
on
Right.
everybody on here would have known that. Okay, before you look, people, I got a jump start today, man. My mother-in-law's birthday was Wednesday, so they didn't work Thursday, and all I had to do was finish off the dirt, on the floors in the bedroom, and, the whole house. So I fully expect that to be done because we got to wait on the roof guy now. And I contracted out to someone from the longer that's got all the material to bring it down. Machine, welder, TIG welder, whatever. TIG is like, to me, is like TIG and MIG is like solder. You know what I mean? I could work that solder then perfect with the lead, but I took a class. I took a class at the local technical college, and this fucking guy gave me a C, and I came there 2 times, and it's just with that stick, man. It's just there's a real art to that. You think because you can work the solder longer. It works, it's halfway melted already. I like it, and then you got a solid rod that you're trying to lay down a bead that's just flawless.
Are you
Like
talking soldering or welding?
welding. It
Okay.
just
Yeah.
from solder to weld is like, well, your first impression if you've done soldering, but like in high school or junior high, and then you get it. You relate it to welding. Well, the TIG and MIG, we have that feed. It's different than holding the stick there. There's a real art to getting that shit flowing. But anyway, that teacher I had, I had the shittiest weld. That dude, I was there like 2 weeks out of, fuck, I forget what the semester was. 10 weeks, he gave me a C. Who's down there? Yeah, he's been straightened out. Well, David might not even show up. Maybe he's in the background. I'm telling you, man. I was watching a program on YouTube, and Brett Favre was one of the discussion panels, and I'm watching him because I have that issue. I have even more now, but he was stuttering, like he was saying something like 3 times before he got it out, and. So when I was listening, they're talking about concussions, and you say, well, you go, I had like 3. And he talked to this doctor. He said, Did you see stars a lot? You know, and you don't get it. But yeah, well, he had more than two. So I got more. I know I had too many because that's me. You know, and um, in the message on Messenger, it has me repeating the start of the sentence. And I'm not kidding either, man. I'm
Yeah,
quite.
that
I'm,
voice as
I'm
a text thing doesn't
listen.
turn out very well.
No, because sometimes it says it repeats as much as I repeat. You know? And I've been having to prove, like, I don't know, I don't like people. I don't say shit unless it's fucking true. I really don't. And my experiences with happening with me, nobody knows, nobody gets it here, man. Hardly anybody in the world gets it. You get no sympathy for hearing the back of memory. They think, oh, fuck you know, I'm good. You should be good too. But it sucked, man. And then we had Max McGee that was one of the tight ends for the Packers back in the day. And he lived in Minnesota, and he got killed because he went up to, he was living in Minnesota. His wife, he went up to clean the gutters, man. He fell down and hit his head, back of his head. You know, died. I mean, same shit could have been with me. It's hard to believe that something that it just doesn't sound that serious enough. It's something that could kill you, but it
Yeah,
does.
I think in high school we had a classmate whose his dad owned a construction company, and I guess he was just working on like a first story porch roof or something. You know, one
Mm.
floor up fell off, killed him. It's just how you land. You know, if you land
We
on your head or
we
your
have
neck, you're done.
yeah. Well, if you get the right spot, and I've been, I mean, big time fucking bumps too, man. Not just little shit. You know, not including the one where I walked out of my bedroom knowing that the one house I had to jog to the left before I could go straight. But yet I was looking at my phone and went straight forward. Boom. But you know, it's that's no joke kind of thing. I just I'm blessed that much. I I'm just nobody gets it, and it's like nobody really give a shit about listening to it. So I don't say it that way because it's one of those things. You're either okay from it or you're not. What kind of semi? But it affects you. It really does. We had a mailman, Tavares to go to called K Ranch. Most of the crowd, I mean, it had every age. During the week, you know, it was more to 20 somethings, 30, early 30s. And Fridays, we had the older folks at the fish fry. And there was a mailman used to come in, I forget his name, Don or something. Well, everybody loved this guy. He was just one of those personalities you look forward to seeing. And he fell and hit his head, fell off the ladder, hit his head, killed him, you know. And if you would, I can imagine that guy probably having more friends than anybody I've ever known in my life. He was that, he was infectious. The dude was just, he had a personality where, you know, he didn't cuss a lot. People loved him, man. And you felt bad, felt bad for the situation.
Hey, so have you been to any of the big stores like Gaisano? Was there any damage in those stores in
No, I
Tucson?
haven't. No, I haven't heard anything. The Gaisano is, you know, it's a concrete pillar of sorts. They're putting up. I don't know if it's just like a what do you call it, fucking shade or visor.
I think there's
They're
a city called Gamut or something. I think someone was inside. It was like 2 or 3 stories, and there was ceiling falling. in
Their
that place.
their colors are copying this, and
Yeah.
what I noticed too was we were talking about supporting SNR, which they could here. It would put one of the malls out of business, but Gaisano and SM are, they help each other with business. But the Robinsons, I was at Robinsons a couple times. It just doesn't have the traffic like Gaisano or SM. And in this town, you don't make much money. Period.
Hey,
So
Michael, are you watching? How many got Washington?
4.
4.
One's got to be a twit in the Philippines. The other one, I think Simon's coming up.
Yeah, Simon should have been off work for a while. Early Dark Friday.
Usually ends what time is it there? By 7 hours? Different?
5. It's 1:43 in the afternoon there,
It's got another 2
I
hours.
believe.
Yeah,
Let me check world clock.
He's giving the
Yeah.
because he wants to talk to nobody. This one was helping him out over the lake. He's like, it's like about 27, 20. And I was sitting there. I said, oh. I said, fucking the loser's home. I heard somebody say something twice because one of the sister-in-laws, in joking, she says, he's lazy. He won't do this and that. It must have struck a nerve, man, because you snapped on it. I'm thinking to myself, this old lady came down there today, and I'm sitting there. Kind of looks at me like maybe I had her kid in front of me. I thought, fuck this. You ain't getting dick from me. Even if they're watching, you ain't getting shit. So earn your shit like we did. Nobody begged. Nobody. I didn't even have the fucking gumption to ask him. I figured they got what they got, and this is what they had to do to get it. That's what I'm gonna have. I don't mean to, but the boy just doesn't know the fucking world. In about 10 years, it's always going to get tired of this fucking mess. Because she's going to want more. Even though, in the beginning, they go, oh, it's not my love. Don't come on my property. Pass me by while I'm saying hello. Because you can just, before you get to the turnstile, you can turn around and head back fucking where you came. Simple respect, bro. I don't got. You give me, I give you. But
So how often you go out to your property?
Man, I used to go every day, but I haven't been there the last 2 days because Thursday didn't work. And they got me graveled in on with my truck there, so I can't move it anyway. I buy a brand new thing, I don't even use it. But when I go out there, I usually catch a ride back with the phone. So I'm usually around 11:30 a.m. or something like that. But the last couple of days, last time I was there was on Wednesday. All they needed was a little more dirt to smooth out where they're going to be putting the floors, concrete. So it was kind of disappointing. I didn't go to today, but by at least tomorrow. If they haven't done that, they've been fucking around. Because that's all that was left to do as far as is for them to do.
I don't know if I asked you, did you start getting your Social Security yet?
I did.
You did?
Matter of fact, I got it on the first of the month.
Because you're just a month older than me, right?
Not technically, yeah. Third October.
Okay. So you already got yours in December?
December 1, yeah.
The first one ever, right? Direct deposit. Yeah. Was it the amount they told you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Mine, I should get mine 2 days after Christmas. I guess because my birthday is the end of the month. So
Well, what they'll do, it'll either be the end of the month or first of January.
no, they told me the date. They said, and that's I think they said it'll be always be the fourth Wednesday of the month or something like
Look.
that. So let me.
I was told.
Yeah,
I was
that
told-
is the fourth Wednesday.
I was told on mine it would be every the second Tuesday every month. Well, now I'm getting it on the first weekend.
Oh. Hey, David.
Hey guys, what's happening?
Hey,
man.
how'd it go last night? I forgot about a Thursday nighter. I was
Yeah.
looking for you. I was looking for you Wednesday morning, and there wasn't anything. And then I saw something projected for Thursday night, and then I totally missed it. I wasn't
My
wasn't on the computer at that time last night. So.
Yeah, we were scheduled to be in jury. I was scheduled to be in jury duty this week. So,
How'd that go?
well, I got bumped to Monday. I got bumped until next week.
You're too opinionated.
During the day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're gonna take you, man.
What was going to happen? So I
Did
didn't
they-
know Thursday night.
You're
Did they notify you electronically that you were bumped, or did you have to go there? Okay, good. At least you didn't waste a trip, right?
Yes,
in their view, David. You're way too opinionated.
they called me, left me a message, sent me an email, and texted me.
Yeah.
Oh.
The last time I got chosen, I was told to call like the night before after 5 or something, and when I called, I got a recording that said my presence was not needed. So
That's called. They're different than the actual. You were on a reserve list. That's why you had to call in, because when the
Right,
people
right.
actually get summons, they let you know you got to be at the courthouse. The other one is a backup, and I had that too in the '80s. And then it was like, when did I have that? Oh, fucking 1985.
well, I had
Fine.
one like 20 years ago where I had showed up, spent all day, went to lunch. You know, I thought like the whole room of us were for multiple trials, right? No, we were all there for one. So they could dwindle down to 12 people, right? So we're all sitting there. We had to be there like 8:30 in the morning. So we sat there. Lunchtime came around. They said, "Oh, go to lunch for an hour. Come back." At 2:30 in the afternoon, I finally get called in. I sit in what is the witness chair, you know, next to the judge. And it's an empty courtroom except for the prosecutor and defense attorney, right? And they whisper to each other and they look at me and said, "Okay, sir, you're dismissed." I mean, they didn't even ask me a question, you know?
They didn't take
They
you
they
because
saw my job was that I was a Fed, and this case was of some young thug that shot at 5 state troopers,
they want
and
to.
they knew that they wanted no piece of me being on the jury, but they had that information in the morning. Why didn't they just say, "Go home, sir. We know we don't want your ass"?
The dog and pony
You know?
show.
They
They,
can't.
they
Yeah.
can't. They can't be that blatant.
Right. So they could just
Yeah.
stand there and whisper, never ask you a question, and say, "Oh, you're
You-
dismissed."
you-
I'm like,
They don't want. They don't want public
Get you in the courtroom.
figures like me. And I was trying, and I'm very, extremely opinionated anyway.
Yeah.
Let alone the job I had. They
So
weren't
it's
going
all-
to take me.
it's all for show.
But I went and rescheduled my
Box off
days.
saying that yes, he went in and we officially dismissed him. That's all it was. Never asked me a question, what my feelings are, nothing.
Yeah.
Just said thanks for wasting your entire day here. You're dismissed. See ya.
So yeah, Monday I go and I will go and do exactly what you did. Be waiting
Yep.
to be interviewed. And
Sitting there with a room of all these people, so they can dwindle it down to the 12 that they want,
If
that they
you
can
get
come to a consensus on between the two of them.
if you get interviewed, when they find out you are a professor at a college, they're going to kick you loose.
right.
So
And if
Press
you
their
get,
heart up.
So
Trust
how is that a jury of your peers if they get to weed out everybody that they don't want? Right?
Because they want somebody as equally as stupid as the fucking dude that did the crime.
it's
But I mean, both of them are agreeing on it. The prosecutor and defense attorney have to come to agreement that they're dismissing this person.
You got a
No,
fucking
you
bunch
You
get
know?
shit.
you get 5 privilege challenges. So somebody can dismiss you just because without any issues. And it's actually not called
Dennis always
juror
about
of your
the
peers anymore. It's called something else. Or it's not the same wording they use.
Right.
I'm going to look it up.
They had to change the rules to justify what they're actually doing. Yeah. Change the terminology.
because there's so many of these things are such a slam dunk fucking. You look at that fucking record of somebody. You know, it's different if it's a first time offender. You come from the inner city, they're gonna be a little more tolerant for that shit. But they're looking to even up the scale there because they don't want anybody saying, well, we had a dude here that didn't even get a GED, and yet we got all these fucking college guys, and they think they know somebody like that, and they want to find somebody who's equally as intelligent as maybe that runs the same circles as that person.
And then sometimes, on these famous cases where when it's all said and done and the press can actually talk to the jurors, you see some of these people and you're like, how in the hell did they get on the jury? And you're like, oh my goodness.
But that's probably what they think about me. So if I get on.
Well,
You guys-
no, just be as
Dennis, I can't
be as
do it.
obnoxious as you possibly can, so they dismiss you
Yeah,
early.
well, I told the lady I used to come in the morning with a couple of freeway flyers, and they'd bring some people to the courthouse. That was like a final stop. And I told one lady, she was talking about she was a county employee, and I said, "Well, just tell me your race." She goes, "I did, but that didn't work."
Yeah, they don't use jury of your peers anymore. They use the term jury. I'm trying to find it, but it's like jury of a cross section of society. So they've changed the wording.
What that means is that they're doing the same thing, but they want you to feel less fun.
So they use a different terminology now. It's not jury of your peers.
They don't want nobody that's been a robber for 8 fucking consecutive times to think he don't have a chance. That's what that is. All about
Just
please.
don't ask any male in the United States who's gone through divorce court how fair the justice system is. Okay.
Wow. And see, and that's part of the deal is I'm happy to serve. I don't mind. I got nothing better to do. Hell, I'll serve. I'll make a little bonus money, a little side hustle. So I'm happy to serve if they ask me.
I traded my days off because I fully expected to do at least the 2 days, and that backfired because they cut me loose after the first fucking day. So they kind of. I was trying to make that into a week.
Well, I got a paid day off. Okay, technically it was jury duty. So.
Oh yeah, we would get if I would get excused for a day of work, they give me the 8 hours, or if I sat there for 4, the county paid 4 and my employer paid 4. So,
I'm actually happy to go. I'm happy to get selected. Make a little cash, have something to do. When it's all said and done, I'll report a video on it. So if I'm allowed to.
So that's going to be Monday, huh? You got to show up.
Yeah, Monday, unless they bump me again. But they sent me today's Friday, on Thursday, yesterday. They sent me a notification that I was scheduled for Monday morning, that my time was on.
How far do you have to drive for that?
I don't know, 12 miles,
Oh, okay.
15 miles, not real far.
I just would have loved to have been involved in that, but most of the cases, usually repeaters and petty bullshit. It's no mod. I asked a guy here, and there's a woman on Channel 4 in Milwaukee she picked up this show called Positively Milwaukee. And she's full of shit. She's one of these fucking people that got throw a ton of makeup on, and they she have to act like she's so fucking concerned about the city.
What the song say? Bubble-headed bleach blonde?
Hey, listen, she's black chick, but listen, when I got out of the Army, out in '83, got this job at this parking lot company, and we were across from the safety building. There was no building there at the time. There's since been, the area technical college is expanded. So they, I saw the dude, the black dude. I said, his name was, what Taylor? Mike Taylor. Anyway, he says, I said, well, hey, Mr. Taylor. He goes, just call, Bill. He goes, just call me Bill. He's cool, man. I said, are you here covering that, there's some kind of murder had happened in your scene, like 30 miles down the road. He said, nah, man, tell somebody who gives a fuck. I'm going on vacation tomorrow. And I thought, this was pretty freaking, and that was back in the 80s. So this guy got to retire early. And he was I liked his personality, man. He was a good man, And then they kind of lost sight with this thing he had started. And then they gave it to some other chick like 15 years after the fact. It wasn't the same. Her heart wasn't in this shit. His was. You could tell it was. But I thought that was so cool of him to answer me honestly. I called him Mister. He said, call me Bill. He didn't feel he was any more important than me. So I think he's still living. I can't do all that. But I like the guy, man. You never forget those few personalities like that.
Yeah, I just saw it. There's a guy that coached, a guy that used to manage the Pirates, the baseball team here, and he managed others. He went to the World Series with the Marlins. He just got Leyland.
Oh yeah, he used to smoke cigarettes in the fucking.
He just got selected. Well, he goes to the same fitness center I go to. So the other day, I don't know, yesterday or day before, I saw him in there, and I shook his hand, said congratulations, because he just found out he made the Hall of Fame a couple of days ago. I guess.
The dude
so
lives there?
I told him congratulations. Well deserved.
He still lives there.
Huh?
He still lives there.
He goes to the same fitness center I go to. Yeah.
How old is he?
Oh, he's in his 70s.
I like that guy. I used to laugh at that because that dude he'd be hitting on that cigarette like a doobie, man.
Oh yeah, he smoked all the time in the dugout, man. I don't think he ever brought it out on the field.
I like that guy. I like
Yeah,
the one because he bucked the system once in a while, man. He spoke his mind.
Yep, he was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
he was with the Tigers for a long time, I guess.
Yeah, he was. Just Sparky and him kind of. Sparky went up there for a retired, but Jim Leland, yeah. I don't remember him managing any other team, really. I really don't.
Detroit. He won the World Series with the Miami Marlins. That's when he won it.
Are you sure that was him?
Yep.
Craig Counsell played.
After he was in Pittsburgh, he went to Miami, and that's where he won the World Series.
Craig Counsell, he had the winning hit in Florida, and then he scored the winning run in Arizona the following year. And now the dude fucked.
Now he's going down to Chicago.
Yeah, he went, but listen, man, listen to me. With all sincerity, this guy thinks, he's had his shots up there. And he's going to be just another guy that they give a 4 or 5 year contract to that you're going to cut loose. There's nothing special, really. There's nothing special to this guy because most major league managers were making.
I love you a long time. $5.
Wait a minute.
$5.
Wait a minute. This guy made most major league managers were like $800,000, 6,000, 800,000. He was paid I think 1.5 or 3 million by the owner. He was the most paid manager there was.
How about just recently, last month, who was it? The college football team, Texas A&M, let go of their coach, had to pay him $75 million buyout.
Yeah, that's
No,
normal.
wouldn't you like to get $75 million for getting fired? I mean,
It's like winning the lottery,
what the
right?
hell kind of job? Why couldn't we get that kind of job?
It's winning the lottery. In today's world, becoming a college football coach and getting
Yeah.
fired is
Well,
like winning the lottery.
You know,
Right.
when LSU played up in Wisconsin, the Badgers beat the fuck out of them. But Les Miles was on his last leg, and you could see the dude in his halftime. Where the sideline reporter asked him questions, he was just stressed, man. I told this guy Bob that's on Facebook and stuff. He lived here in the Philippines, been Davao forever, 20 years, and he came back, and that guy, that guy was totally different. He just, I don't know.
How about you, Tony? I know we're a little long in the tooth, but
Yes, you are.
listening to a woman do play-by-play on a football game is just, I'm just not used to it. I'm not used to it.
I've seen it in college. And,
Yeah.
I haven't. It doesn't matter to me much. I mean, it just it's one of these voices where one of your friends is doing the game.
Yeah.
I
But
really
it hasn't been on like the high profile game.
No. Well,
And
you have your
I'm-
you have your announcers that are the A team. So nobody jumps
yeah,
over.
but what I'm saying is they never if they put their money where their mouth is, they'd have someone on an A team, and that hasn't happened. You know what I mean? They say
It's
one thing and they actually do another, right?
Hey,
So
listen, for the longest time when I was a kid, I fucking hated Keith Jackson. I just fucking hated him. I didn't like that cocksucker for nothing. He was at college, college.
right.
Did the Rose Bowl every year, and then when I got older, when I got older, I thought, yeah, I like this dude. I like his
Yeah,
voice.
it's a classic voice. Yeah,
Yeah, he's unique. And
him
and
Pat
and when he was
Summerall and his sidekick Hank
when he was
Strahan.
cut
Remember him?
when he was cutting down his workload, he only did the Rose Bowl.
Yeah,
He'd always say, "Oh, Nelly," it was like
Yeah.
his thing. But
yeah.
we if that had been today's world, it would have. People loved him, man, and he did the Rose Bowl till he couldn't do anything anymore. Really. The guy was solid, serious. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like everything he said meant something.
That's like the guy Vin Scully,
I don't
baseball,
like,
and
I didn't like him or
Bob
Gaggio.
Euchre.
Bob's in Milwaukee, man. Matter of fact, I had
Who,
a little
who was that guy? Tim McCarver.
McCarver. Yeah,
And McCarver was one.
Euchre used to play for the Braves, very
Right.
St. Louis, very little. But I used to load airplanes, part-time job. I worked fueling them during the week because I worked second shift my other job. So I go there from like 6:30 to 10, and on the weekend we'd load the Brewer planes and whoever they were playing. I pulled a rib muscle, man. My friend thought I was having a heart attack. It hurt. I screamed. He said, "You okay?" And I'm like, I blacked out for a fucking minute. It could be because my rib muscle wanted to come around the front and snap back. It hasn't properly, put in its place, and I had to go out and be tested because I was on a federal facility, government. So I didn't get home till like 2 a.m. And I was supposed to get off that job at 7 p.m. but everywhere I went, they were closed. And Bob Euchre, they had played the Florida Marlins, they were called at the time, which I like better than Miami. And he was coming with his suitcases. So this was in the 90s. I don't know how old he is. And he's in his 80s now. So that was about 30 years close, roughly. And he was walking toward that plane because it was a white plane, period. It didn't have any markings. Neither plane had markings. And I saw him. And I said, hey, Mr. You go over this way. And he raised his hand and goes, yeah. Okay, thanks. I said, you need any help? No, I got it. When I was leaving,
You guys want to hear
using commercials, using a sausage.
you want to hear a very screwed up story?
He was one of the medical people, and he looked at me because what happened with that was once it happens, it hurts like a mother. But a friend of mine, a neighbor of mine, that worked first shift, he comes from behind me, not knowing what happened to me, and he pokes my rib, my sides like this. And I went right down to the ground. You get hurt like a son of a bitch. You know?
But Dennis,
What, David?
Well, first, let me say, Dennis, I thought you had a beautiful new Colombian chick you showed me. What are you doing with time?
You know what I want to see, Dennis? I want to see a live interaction as much as we can get without being blacklisted.
If you want to talk sports, let me tell you something that's really weird, screwed up. I haven't come to grips with it yet. You guys probably don't follow Razorback sports, but about 10 years ago, Bobby Paterno, whatever his name is,
Patino.
was our head coach, and he got caught screwing the tennis coach that he hired on his staff, because he's married, of course, when he wrecked his motorcycle and lied to the state troopers about it. So that's why he got fired. And then after
Sounds
that,
like
our football program went to hell, and the handbasket was really bad.
the Razorbacks used to be mentioned in it every year, like the SEC teams, Florida and Georgia and all that.
So now he is back.
Yeah, but he's not head coach. He's some kind of coordinator or something, right?
He's been hired as the OC, the offensive coordinator.
The dude's a loser.
What comes around goes around, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this guy.
They have a new tennis coach.
What is he, 90?
Tennis, anyone?
But
his first demand was hiring a better looking tennis coach, huh?
Listen, you know what they did? You know what they did when they hired Brett Bartholomew, whatever his fucking name was, which from the Badger, and Barry
Bielema.
Barry Alvarez.
Bielema.
Barry Alvarez was still the AD, and usually they'll let him finish the year out. He said, "Fuck you." He went coach that game. He told Brett to go down and do his sui shit.
Yeah, Brett sucked.
But
Bobby, there's a lot of people right now currently not really happy because Bobby, he fucked our program up, man. I mean, he sent us into the ditch, literally. He drove his motorcycle in the ditch, lied about screwing the little 22-year-old coach or whatever she was.
Maybe they're marrying Barry, like the mayor of D.C. in our nation's capital. The fucking mayor gets caught red-handed smoking fucking crack, and the people reelect.
Yeah.
Shit. But anyway, Bobby Paterno, what was he, like 95 by now?
No, he's only like 60. He's not very old.
Fucking way, man.
No,
come on, 60's old, David. Admit it.
Nah, he's not old.
No, he's trying to cover up for that shit now.
But then after Arkansas,
he's trying to be nice to us.
He went to Louisville, and then he went to Missouri State, and then he got fired along with the head coach from Texas A&M this just a few months ago.
You fire him, you fire me, motherfucker.
So now we hired him as the OC. We're paying him $1.2 million the first year, 1.4 the second. And
That's better than the Hooker. So if they fire him, what's the buyout on him?
well, here's the thing. Now, the only good thing, when everybody else, we paid out the nose. When we fired Bobby, he didn't get a payout because we fired him for cause, because he lied and he misused state funds. I would have never hired the fucker back. So,
Yes, correct.
but he's
Oh,
back.
well.
Now,
He's back.
the only problem is, here's how I see this. What he should do, he should come out at a press conference and say, look, I am happy to be back in Arkansas. I am grateful for this opportunity. You know, I look to redeem myself. I'm a different man now than I was 10, 12 years ago. And I hope the great university and the people of Arkansas will, blah, 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 blah. Then maybe he'd be all right. But he's such an arrogant asshole that it's unbelievable.
So what? Well, he's going to be your OC.
Yep.
There you gonna be. So who's the head coach? What's his name?
Sam Pittman.
Never heard of him. Where's he come from? Is he first timer?
First time head coach. He's 60-something years old. He's
Well,
been
then
head coach he's been head coach for a couple of years. He was the offensive line coach for multiple teams, including Georgia when they won a national championship.
a couple of years ago. Yeah, they won 2 years in a row.
He's a good
Hey,
coach.
they lost their first game against Alabama just last week. That's
Yeah.
the first time they've lost in like 20-some games.
They're like
Hey,
they're like
hey.
they're like they're like the Bama Slayers, you know.
Not
Them
anymore.
dudes had a stranglehold on the SEC in Alabama.
Now,
Now you see if last year I think one player made like 2 mistakes that cost them the whole fucking game. What's his name was all over them.
here we go.
That's how serious they are about football down there. They don't have no pro team.
Well, but he's part of the Georgia and Atlanta Falcons.
I'm talking about Alabama, man. They don't have no state. They either root for Saints or they root for Atlanta.
Henry's in the house. Hello, Henry. How are you?
Oh, Henry.
I got my birthday watch. I got my new watch all squared away.
How old you turn? How old's your birthday?
So it's tomorrow.
Oh,
Maybe
happy early
50.
birthday.
50 what?
22.
33.
That's
Boy, we were all wrong.
You're in your 40s, man.
Man, I barely made it in my mid-30s.
How the fuck old are you?
Look how good looking I am. I can't be more than 30 years old.
That's why we keep dressing you. How old are you?
I'm telling you, I'm 30.
Okay, maybe a hooker believe that shit, but I'm talking about
Yeah. Hookers don't believe it. Hookers, only because I pay them, man.
shit. You pay 'em.
Hookers will believe anything you pay. That's the rule.
You're what? What are you, 50? Fucking what?
Did you hit a milestone? Did you hit a certain
Is this a
decade? Or
fucking,
Nah, nothing.
you got rings like a tree?
I do have rings like a tree. I do.
Just from wearing too small underwear.
That's it.
You're 50 what? You're 40, either 49 or 50 something. I forgot.
Ah, okay, Dennis. I got you. Well, at least you had fun doing it. That's the key, Dennis. So I got you.
Fun, huh?
As long as you had fun and it looked like you had fun, Dennis. So that's all that matters. Just keep doing it, man.
oh my! Simon.
Oh, that goddamn Simon in the house.
Simon woke up from his nap after work. Taking the day off, early dart Friday.
There's
He's having
there's
some
a work
porridge.
release. Work release here.
Simon's eating some porridge.
So, Simon, I got a question. Do the pigeons realize that every Friday you get done earlier? Do they know that? Is it in their little pigeon
Yes.
body clock? You got to feed them earlier on Fridays or what?
All right, David, how old are you today? Still in your 50s and all that, right?
Today, I am one
Today,
day
he-
younger than I will be
Fucking
tomorrow.
yesterday.
How's that?
51?
He's
51?
keeping it a secret.
I am
54?
I am one day younger than I will be tomorrow. How's that?
Really, man? Okay,
Man,
Richard.
that's as bad as a woman.
Oh, shit, man.
I can't give away all my secrets. What the hell is that?
Jeez.
What the fuck is wrong with that one? It's secret. You don't touch nobody under the age of 15.
Yeah, because if they find out his real birthday, then they'll steal all his fortune. He doesn't want that to happen.
That's
Nah,
what the wife thinks, anyway.
Yeah.
My wife's paranoid about identity theft. For whatever reason.
well, you just tell her you just put down there your what a myth book or whatever. Like what's his name? Right to the sexiest, the Kardashian chick, and now he wants to be a fucking chick with a dick. You know?
I hated that guy in MythBusters.
Bruce Jenner, man.
I
I mean,
hated
what does this dude get off getting a Courage of the fucking Year award for being a freak? Unfucking believable. In the day and age,
Hey, I'm glad to say I've never watched what you're talking about. So.
and I saw a show where they or an event where they're handing out condoms. He was all fucking excited about them. What the fuck? Who gives a shit, man? Courage, a woman. He got a Courage award that usually goes to women that sports that
Who did?
give it their all when they're when they're involved in whatever the sport they're involved in. And this motherfucker, he's fucking dick inverted. I mean, what is that courage? What?
Look, Viking, I like your answer. I'm going to do the same. Let me do some calculations here.
Oh, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I like it. I'm going to say, let me do this. I would
Being
say,
secret, like some Victoria's Secret shit.
Can you imagine how much time and money you would save throughout your life if you had this wisdom at 18 years old?
oh
Man.
You know what today is full of. I'm so glad we came up when we did, because today is shit that changes by the minute, and it's supposed to be socially acceptable. But when we were kids, that it went okay, man's a man, a woman's a woman. But yet you got this argument, oh, because of the way I feel. Fuck you. Fucking,
You think
you want
you think in our day a guy went out to play a football game and he would have wore pink socks, pink wristbands in honor of breast cancer awareness or something? In our day, do you think they would have done that?
no.
well, it's for a good cause.
That is, but the acceptance of the whole thing, not everybody was up on into that bandwagon of accepting people for what they are.
No, it was Archie Bunker's America. That's why I really feel old when I see that Norman Lear just died this week. He's 101. I was like, man, I used to watch Archie Bunker when I was a kid, and this guy created the thing.
The shit that they got away with then would never fly now, man.
Oh, I
Never.
loved it. Him and Meathead. He'd put Meathead in his place.
Never. I like Sherman Hensley there from Jefferson's
Yeah.
Him and his son there used to, make Archie look like a fucking idiot.
What the hell?
All right,
What was
Simon.
his son's
Hey,
name? Son's
Simon.
name. Come on.
Uh,
Use your Rolodex there, Tony. I'm
what
trying
was
to think.
his? What's his son? Someone with a J. Justin?
Simon,
No.
doing your math, I am 61 years of age.
Fucking 50, fucking titty 5. Man.
61, according to Simon's math.
No way.
If you look at his formula,
Simon said
Hey,
that's because
Tony.
Simon says he's 50 fucking 2.
Wasn't Mr. Jefferson's wife? Wasn't her name Wheezy?
correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it George and Wheezy? Right.
George and Weasley, yeah.
What was his son's name? I cannot think of his
Lionel.
son's name.
Lionel.
That's right.
Lionel. Yeah.
Now that you had
There you go.
to look it up.
Oh, you looked it up, huh, David? Damn it.
Sure he did.
You
No,
cheated.
it's all right now. Ooh, that's
You
cool.
cheated.
I didn't
That was-
cheat.
See that's another
was-
thing between Tony and I are a little different than you because we have to use the old Rolodex. That's the first thing we go to is our memory. But you younger guys, you go to
Yeah.
Google.
Hey, I'm 61 years old. I didn't go to Google. I went to the power of the brain.
Kiss my ass.
You're not
58.
61.
Liar.
Ask Simon. Do Simon's math, and I'm 61.
Oh, Simon's the only 52-year-old.
I'm just telling you.
They was 50. Yeah, he's in the seat early.
Simon, I was watching this Thai YouTube channel guy. He's an Aussie, but his buddy in Thailand, they were sitting there talking to him, and
What's
they
his
were
name?
talking about a buddy they lost a year ago at Salfordian. But the guy talking talked just like you, Simon. So I was like, damn, he must be from
Who was that
Salford.
guy? There was a guy over there. Kevin, Big Kevin or something. Everybody, he's from the UK, but people thought he was awesome. That dude, everybody loved this guy. He was just a good time, good time. On his videos, eating, drinking, whatever, man, enjoying life. And he got cancer, and what a fucking shame that was.
I'll tell you what, most
that was.
Aussie I've met has been a fun-loving person. I mean, just a great person to be around. A lot of fun.
What? Pushing 50, 51. You're 52. You look 62, but you're 50. Doesn't matter, man. You know what, man? At this point in my life here, I'm glad. I'm sorry that I made bad decisions, but there was some good that came from all of that too. In the fact that I'm here tonight.
Yeah, the good thing is that it all ended up where we're at today, which we would never trade for anything. So you just realize all the stuff you had to go through to get to that point.
For me, yeah, exactly. For me, if I was smart, I would have stayed in Ohio, and I would have got a job to local aluminum.
You mean with your aunt and uncle?
Yeah, it was called Barmet at the time, aluminum. That's the only big employer there in Ericksville, and I would have spent more time with my aunt and uncle.
Well, by the time, if you were like me, by the time you were 19, those mills would have shut down, and you would have lost
this job, this place is still going.
It's
but
still
the point
going.
of it, the point of it is, I would have, in hindsight's always 2020. I've never got married. I've never had any kids. But for me to sit here and say, I wish it would have been that way, it would have been so fucking rude and disrespectful to my children that I've had. Because I've had good ones, man. I've had 5, and I wouldn't trade that for nothing.
I tell you what, Tony, I quit college a year and a half in to take a job at a mill that was paying good. Back then it was like $12 an hour, which in 1980 was pretty damn good money,
Yeah, it was,
and when you're 18, 19 years old, And what I was looking at, if I graduated college with my degree in engineering, I would have been starting out at what I'd make at this mill, you know?
You look at that Tom Cruise movie. You know, I think what's his name's brother was in that one too. Yeah, he was. What's his fucking name? Married to Madonna.
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn's brother was in Christopher, I think. His name was Christopher. He was in there. I don't know if it was called Varsity Blues, but all these guys, you know, they were to get out of the situation. You know, they're in Pennsylvania. You know, you got. I mean, you know, there's how it looked, how it smelled. You know, everybody didn't flash their cash, but they you know, they made a good living. You know, they were never hungry. And he was one of them where, you know, they had this future in this the guy Greg T. Nelson was the coach from the show the coach, and he blackballed Tom Cruise, so he wouldn't, you know, he didn't go anywhere because he had these pros looking at him or these colleges, and the guy said, oh, he's a bad seed, you know, can't follow direction, all that shit. And I remember when that movie came out, that was the vision I had of where it was, you know, and I knew people that were judged by it, were affected by it. You know, we had a guy named Larry Mills, left-handed. The dude was phenomenal, local athlete, high school, big arm, lefty. He got a workout with Miami. I think Jimmy Johnson's coach down there in Miami, and he drove all the way down to his dad, and the guy said, "Nah, I don't want to look at him. Fuck it." Sent him back home without even looking at him. And that was it. That was it for him. You know, it was like Goliath. You know, like David and Goliath kind of thing. You know? Wow.
I don't know about you, but I was probably a teenager before I thought that, I mean, if you didn't sweat, you weren't really working. You know what I mean? Like people that had like white collar jobs and stuff or wore suits. I mean, I didn't consider that working because I saw all the guys I saw were like guys that worked in the steel mill. They come home dirty and sweaty.
Dude.
Guys that worked in cement finish or bricklayers, you know.
Before I started a bus drive job, there were still a couple of foundries, and one the ex-building I worked for was the modern one, where you didn't get as filthy and as shit.
Yeah.
But when I was at school, I took a half a day of machine shop, and our fun was just, you know, cutting that bar stock. You know, when they first start charging in steps, you know, certain depths, and we'd be just gushing fucking oil on them, man, just smoking up the room, you know. And but I would have loved to have worked at a foundry or something. I love the smell of metal.
Yeah.
I don't know why it is, but I just loved it. So that would have been the place for me. You know, that would have been the place for me. And I'm sorry I could have never been that way. I would have been a happier individual if it would have stayed that way.
You know, but the misconception I had was that the harder you worked physically, you know, the more money you made. But
yes.
In reality, that's not the case.
Well, to get your foot in the door, I mean, to get your foot in the door, you're like, okay, man, I'm unloading trucks or whatever. But what I really want to do,
I never got to the point in my life where it was like the song, you know, money for nothing, chicks for free.
Yeah. I wanted to, you know, you had those molds. I wanted to be the guy that poured that shit into the mold, you know, like the zinc castings. I want, you know, I mean, I loved it, man. I don't know. I know it is a maybe a strange way for some folks, but I love the smell of the foundry.
But I mean, my dad would work in a steel mill. Then he moonlighted as a cement finisher. So when he got home from work, he ate, and then we went out. We were normally forming a job. Like when the weather was good, We were out forming the next cement job, and then Saturday morning, he was off Saturday. It was pour cement day. Every
Well,
Saturday, if it wasn't pouring ass rain, we were pouring cement somewhere,
what,
putting in either driveways, sidewalks, whatever.
in your impression of all that, was that the life though? Didn't that make it? I mean, it was a part of time where it was you were so proud to be part of it. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like God. You know, I get to do this thing, and
My-
I live in a so house. What's everybody else?
I think the biggest compliment or biggest boost I ever got here, my dad never bragged on, his kids or anything, but he was talking over a beer with his buddy, right? And they were talking about cement work and hey, he says, "Oh, I see you got your boy there with you." And my dad was like, "Yeah." He said, "What about your older two boys?" And my dad said, "Nah." He said, "Out of all three of the boys," he said, "he's got the best finishing hand." Talking to me, like cement finishing, smooth. Because my dad was a perfectionist, man. When you were done, if you said you wanted a porch smooth, you could play freaking marbles on that porch and it would be dead even. And this was way before lasers or lines. My dad had a dead eye for level.
Yeah.
We'd be doing cement work and I'm in there, I'm shoveling in. He said, "There's a low spot right there." And I was like, "That's not low." He said, "Put a shovel in there." He had an excellent eye just from experience.
Did you find yourself looking at every other concrete job going, "I thought that ain't right"?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My dad, everywhere we'd go around, he'd look at that and he said, "Oh, a shoemaker did that,"
Honestly, for a lot of folks out there don't realize this, when you're in that kind of environment there like we were, and it made you happy, it made you proud. You want to do the best you can.
Right.
And you don't want nobody going, "That fucker don't know. He did shit," where it was a proud. I mean, just the definition.
You know what, Tony? He never had to advertise. He always had work during the summer. He never advertised one bit.
The definition of proud would have been work like that. It speaks for itself.
And he worked for peanuts too. I mean, he could have charged 3 times the price he did, but he did it because he loved to do it, and he just wanted to break even, really. And if it was someone down on their luck, like it was an old lady, a widow or something, he'd just charge materials. Sometimes he'd be paying for the materials. He didn't make jack shit. He'd pay me as a laborer. He'd pay for the materials. He'd actually lose money on a job. But he didn't care because it was doing good, for somebody that needed it.
The best environment for me. My Uncle Pet was a working a clay pipe factory because they used to use clay pipe for sewage and shit. And that place, Claymont, was Claymont something. And then my grandfather, he didn't want to stay in Pennsylvania, and I don't know why he said what he said about working with steel, because he ended up being what do you call it, tunnel rat,
Yeah.
Being, and my great uncle did not get married till he was 42 because he had to pay off my great grandparents' debt because they had owed bad taxes. Now, how many people today? My great uncle didn't marry till he was 40. He didn't have his first child till he was 42. And when I looked at him, I'm 12 years old, 11, 12 years old when I lived there. And he was a dude. I mean, he was a man's man, Even if you were straight with him, he's straight with you. He knew it, and he didn't like bullshit and liar and thieves, And he was a better. I tell my other cousin this, but he and my aunt were better parents for me than my own parents were. And I hate saying that to be just because I despise my parents, but my my uncle and my aunt, they were better. They were better folk for it. And my uncle, he still had big arm. He died when 79 of liver cancer. But every time I saw him, man, he'd say, "Oh, Dick, because my eyes with my father, I looked the same eyes." He'd always do that though. And he was the only man. He was the first male relative I ever said I love you to. I never said it to my father, only to my uncle. I used to hear because my uncle used to backhand my auntie back when she had a mouth on. But my uncle, he didn't do it for the sake of doing it. He came from you were the man. You didn't take lip from your lady, And one time he stuck up for me, and I'm like, oh, shit, man. No, my dad never did this, And he goes, you leave him alone, And my auntie said, oh, your uncle used to beat me, and I'm 12 years old. What the fuck do I know about this shit? I didn't even have my first girlfriend, And he, what am I going to say to her? Oh, yeah, okay. That's my fucking blood, man. My parents came to visit this year I was there. They came for next summer. And one of the one of the friends of my auntie used to go on a countryside drive every Sunday. Every Sunday. To the countryside of Ohio, getting apple cider, whatever. And Glenn had two sons. These guys one was okay, one was a turd. And my mom told me, she goes, yeah, somebody stole like $400 back in '73. And she said, don't tell your uncle. Well, because my uncle was the man he was, I felt compelled to tell him. And he
stole 400 from who?
From my mother, the neighbor kid down the road.
Back in Wisconsin?
No, Ohio.
Back in Ohio, okay.
Yeah. So Glenn's wife, and Glenn had a hard life, man. But when he was older, we'd take his car, he'd go offshore, go ahead. But when he was my auntie would go on a Sunday cruise, And my uncle, man, he wasn't like my dad. He always had an ear open, And he said when my auntie died, you'd have never known it, based on, and my ex-father-in-law too, based on the way they carried themselves, how they spoke, the way they acted. But my auntie died 6 months before. And I shed a tear for a little bit, nothing like I did for him. But he looks at my mom and me and he says, I just lost my best friend. I thought, geez, I never knew he thought or felt like that. He was a man, he the way he was, every man should be. Really, really should. Not just because he was my uncle, but right was right, wrong was wrong. You had your place, and he had, everybody had their fucking place. It wasn't that he kept, my aunt that kept her down, nothing like that. I can't say enough good shit about him. I loved him, and when we had his funeral, my cousin Joel, because I'm watching this casket going down. I'm thinking I've been at funerals, man, And I watched this casket go by. They had an Italian flag on it. And I just fucking lost it, man. I couldn't handle it. And what the first row of people that had to go up for communion was my role. And I said, Tim, my cousin, I said, you go. No, you go. You go. And my oldest cousin Joe, they were like 4 and 5 years older than me. And Joe puts his hand on my shoulder when we got to, because that's the first time I ever saw him cry. Is at the cemetery. But
Simon's here.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
How you doing, Simon?
All good, fellas.
Starting your weekend early now.
How's tricks?
Oh, sure. Ask her what.
No need for violence, Tony.
But anyway, I can't help but go on a rant about that because
Well, everyone's got a hero.
my uncle, I swear to God, man, I wouldn't be saying as much. My father died, it that fucked me, but that was more about how I was treated. But good people.
But the thing is, the men that were raised like that, like you and I were raised, we're just like dinosaurs now. We can't. The younger kids, I know my own kids, they can't relate to a day when, hey, right was right, wrong was wrong, and now it's everything's morally relevant,
and you didn't think to lie.
The thing is, they've never lived, Kiko.
You didn't think. I never thought I had the courage or balls to lie to my uncle. Never.
Is that German wheat beer, Belgian wheat beer, Tony?
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
God.
You've still got some left?
I got 2 cases.
You got to go make a run.
You got 2 cases 3 weeks ago.
Might as well hit the CR while you're up.
That was 4.
Oh, you got 4.
Got 2 for 5.
Hey, Michael, you lurking out there?
Yeah, there's 10 lurkers.
Go to the bank yet, Michael? It's December 8th. I hope you went to the bank already.
He's been to the bank to withdraw his 100K.
All right.
Dennis needs more Kleenex. Yep, so it's chill time for me now, Kiko. 5 every morning.
Yep.
All week.
Now, did you take care of your pigeons once you got home?
Yeah, I've just finished taking care of them. We get extra maize on a Friday.
Good. How's your temperature? Has it warmed up a little bit?
Yeah, it's warmed up a bit. It's about 5C.
Yeah. It's about what it is here.
Yep, same old, same old. I'm used to the cold.
You married a while, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to cut down to 3 days a week now, Tony.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Told Maria.
3 solid fucking days a week.
I've told Maria, now you're working full time, I'm gonna ease off the gas.
Right.
It's only money at the end of the day, eh?
Yeah, you got your main thing is your family,
What about Paddy? Paddy's over in Cyprus. He sent me a photograph last night. He bought 2 kebabs on his first visit.
That's right. He was supposed to go there yesterday, huh?
Oh well,
Yep.
I can understand how you can't handle it because they don't have a McDonald's.
And he's there till March, he said.
Who don't have a dime?
You know what though? You know what? Whether you got a maid or not, I mean, when you're younger, you hear about retirement, this and that. And you quit and you go traveling, go down south, all that shit.
You know what they say though, don't you? You know what they say though, Tony, don't you? Once you retire.
Quite honestly, I could have, being retired and all this cracked up to you. It just is.
What, you'd rather be working?
Yeah, but not full time. But I mean,
You got to be doing something. You know the saying, when you retire,
what it is,
hobby, you're gonna die.
What it is
Wicker.
is because when you no longer have that grind, when you become a certain age, you can pull the plug anytime you want. It's not a drag anymore because you can just leave. If you have a bad day, you can go fuck it. I'm leaving.
Yeah. It's like me. I just got tired of the bullshit. I realized I was, I could go, and I was just tired of the bullshit. Plus their certain mandates they start having. I was like, nah.
I like having options. I've always. never limit yourself to one thing.
But I wouldn't mind doing something simple now, like driving, like, how these hotels have their shuttle buses
well,
take
the
you from the
airport
hotel to
has
the Air Force. Yeah, I'd do one of those, just
airport
be a
should.
driver.
Airport should, man. By us,
So,
it was in Milwaukee. It was easy. You know? I mean, Jesus. I mean, if it was anything, it took up your time. But as far as sitting home watching soap operas all day, I like the fact I don't have to deal with the hassle. I did, but I could easily. I told my sister, Ruby and Yost, I said, you're short with the
Lab.
you're short with the hours you need, so are the years. So I said, so you got to work a part-time job anyway, to pay for your food, because you rent and the car payment is taken care of through Social Security. So it's not always a negative to go. But
yeah, now
that
my wife wants to get her citizenship, I was like, why,
That's the same as Maria wants hers, Kiko.
Yeah. I said, what's the only advantage is you can vote and you can get a government job,
Yeah.
There's not really anything.
Yeah, but I don't know about in the States, Kiko, but over here, if Maria gets a citizenship, she can have a British passport.
Right.
That's one good thing. There, she doesn't have to apply for
Right.
these, what they call them, visas.
Well, what is the cost of going through the process?
Well, about 1,200 quid.
Yeah. I think my wife, she said it'll cost $700 US. That probably as a minimum.
Well, then she'll be able to get a United States passport.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
the only.
then she said, well,
that's the only
she said, well, I
advantage.
can always be dual citizenship. She said,
there was a
because a lot of
guy.
her Filipino friends are dual citizens.
There was a guy that in the Philippines. He left when he was 50 over there. Now he went back, and he was one of the last people. He took advantage of the Bill Hill. He had a bypass done before they took out that Z-Pack. So they came back. I met them. I drove from Ohio on my way back to Wisconsin. And I stopped there. And I'm thinking this guy's going to spend the afternoon with me. I got like fucking 15 minutes out of him. And his name was Bob. And his wife was working. They came back to the States because, the gig he had kind of went dry, so they had to, do something else. So his wife was working. And he says, well, it's really important that she has her own Social Security. I'm thinking, she just started working over in the States when she's 50. She ain't getting shit. So, that bogus excuse of why you came back. He had a son with a learning disability. And the schools over there were kind of a tailor-made thing for the son, as opposed to here. But yeah, that thing you said about shit just drive.
Correct, Dennis.
Simon, once she becomes a UK citizen, does she then qualify for NHS benefits, free healthcare?
No, she gets that now, Kiko.
Oh, she gets it now because she's a resident or something?
Because she's married to me.
Oh, okay.
She gets.
So if I went to Italy, I could get.
Do they have anything similar to a green card in the UK saying she's here legally as a resident?
Yes, like a permanent resident visa.
Okay, she has that.
Yeah, she has that. And I said to her even as early as last week. I said, "Listen, if you want your citizenship, I'll give you the money to get it." She said, "No, I'll save myself."
She don't have to. She don't have to leave the country like the system is in the Philippines here.
No,
Where
no.
where you go say,
When she first came over here, I had to marry her within 6 months. Otherwise, she would have had to go back.
I thought it was
Right.
very much.
But after that, oh, she's here. Look, permanent resident. See, she wants a passport there. She put it in the comments. She must know when I come on Tony's panel.
Dennis is smart ass there. He's my group therapist. Uh-oh.
So my wife has been working for 2 years now. I guess you got to work 10 years to qualify for your own social, but it doesn't matter because once we die, they have to choose between their own and ours, anyways. Right.
If your wife is not a U.S. citizen, she don't get shit. Technically, now there is a way.
No.
There's a way.
If she's a permanent resident, green card holder, living in the U.S., she will get my Social Security benefits because we've been married for over 20 years, and she's resided here for those 20 some years, right? Because it says on your Social Security statement, your beneficiary, a spouse, or your minor children will
Yeah.
receive that.
Let me tell you an example. A friend of mine at work, Victor Ramirez, his wife was a legal alien. So when he retired, he tried talking me into go down to Mexico. Fuck that shit. I was 5 minutes from it before. I was in Texas saying I didn't know what to do. And he asked the guy. The guy said, you have a spouse? Yeah, but she's not a U.S. citizen. And so he didn't get any Social Security because she wasn't a citizen.
For her. And how long did she live in the U.S.?
Oh, she was here illegally for fucking buku years. This is way before.
Illegally?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
I'm just saying, man. There's all kinds of all this kind of shit like this isn't clear cut. There's always some kind of fucking angle to all that. But I'm just telling you the example from that guy. Not, it's just.
Your wife is still a Philippine citizen, right?
Yes, you know what it reminds me
She
of?
lived with you here in the U.S. for a minimum of 5 years, so she will qualify for your Social Security.
I know. I try and tell her somebody that doesn't get. That is the point. There's so many avenues to tell you.
Simon, how's it work in the UK? Would all the money you paid in, you said you've already paid in the max for whatever pension you would get. If you passed away, would Maria get that money?
Yeah, because she's my wife.
Now listen. I know you did.
And because she resided there for a certain number of years.
She's lived there since 2008. She's been paying taxes and national insurance herself for the last 10 years.
Right, but is there a cutoff, a number of years, like 5 years?
You've got to be paying into the pot for 30 years.
My wife.
Talking about getting your benefits.
No.
You die.
No, yeah, because she's been here since 2008, and she's been paying tax and national insurance herself for the last 10 years.
My wife's cousin was married to a counselor.
Maria's asking if she's getting a lot. No, I'm leaving all my money, Kiko, to the pigeon fund.
I'm
coming over.
Maria will have to make do with the scrap.
Maria, his body won't be cold up here.
Now, Tony always picks on me, Kiko. I don't know why I'm bother coming up.
But
Maria, do you need our PayPal account so you can send it to us?
Just on the GoFundMe.
Yeah.
We want a couple of them slingshots Tony's hanging up in the background.
Double-barreled.
The double-barreled shotguns.
every day.
Hey, Dennis.
But there are so many, one way is, as somebody said, it's clear cut, you don't give a shit, and about this and that. There's all kinds of shit. You really gotta know the ins and outs. But
Hey,
being,
Tony, have you been filming that house build?
but being America, the shit in America,
Right over there.
if you whine long enough and loud enough, you'll get your.
He didn't hear you, Simon. No, he's not filming anything.
What? No, I haven't yet.
It-
I have.
His new truck is still parked there. Cover. I hope you got a cover on it, right, Tony?
Yeah, I got cover on it, but it's closed in by mounds of
Closed in
gravel.
by all the lock and gravel and everything.
Have you not drove it anywhere yet, Tony?
Yeah, I did.
Where have you been?
Home from the dealership, right?
Well, I went from the dealership home, and the next day I went from the Landis, and
I think you need a trip up to Naga in Bicol. Go and visit our friend, the Brit.
your
Yeah.
friend
As you call him.
were
I'll offer to buy his. He's selling them.
Yeah, he's got a nice little Hyundai there. So
You know what?
Bye.
You know what? Listen. Really listen.
What is it, about 4,000 pounds?
No, there are
About
some of us,
$4,000.
there are some of us that know where we want to be and what we need to do in life to get there. And we learn from past experiences or situations, and so we adjust to get to where we need to get. That dude, it's always been a fucking loser, and always will be one. It's in his DNA. You ain't having a person making mistakes by fucking circumstance. All the dudes ever gave a shit about was himself. And
Simon,
now,
what's he got?
You-
Another
well,
five
listen,
years
you-
full pension?
when you put, as soon as you created a couple, you had a couple kids, your life ain't about you no more. It's about them and the wife.
And that's why I go to work. That's why I go to work every day here, Tony. Not for me.
Your shit,
For the kids.
your shit is out the fucking window.
Yeah.
You as a single man doesn't mean shit no more. And if you can't recognize that, then you're the biggest fucking doofus there ever was in the world.
Maria's right. Look, them pigeons earn more than she earns.
I can't stand fuckers like that. I just can't keep quiet about that. There's nobody that made a fucking wrong, fuck that shit. You're fucking 62, you know what you're doing.
Yeah, but hey, Tony, isn't it true? The older you get, do they say that you go back to being a child? Is that what they say?
You end up fat, bald, and shitting yourself, just like when you came out of
Well,
right?
that's the way you, Tony. Don't matter what you've got, material things. It doesn't matter what you've got or what you've earned. When you go out, you're going out the same way you come in.
Bald and
Pussy
naked.
brought you into the world will take you out.
Bald, fat, and naked.
But we're not talking in a situation. Man. We're not talking about an individual that has a streak of bad luck. This individual, his whole life has been a streak of shit, brought on by himself. So it really makes me fucking pissed to see all this that support a fucking piece of shit like that. I tell the same thing in his fucking face, even if he came on there now. Don't
What
tell
you
me.
trying to say, Tony? Shit for brains?
Don't tell me you're a fucking man. Don't even fucking start.
Tony, what you
Don't-
trying to say?
Don't blame it on the wife that you had because you promised her too fucking much. You can't deliver, and God forbid she find out the truth, asshole, because she cut you up. You find a woman over here, you pregnant her, knowing perfectly fucking well that she don't get shit from you, and you do it anyway.
Well,
And
all
now
I can say,
You're
Tony,
pissed. Now you're pissed because she's starting to wake up about shit. I'm
Hey,
serious.
Simon, how are our other Brits over there, like Adrian and John, Zen, and
I've not heard
Chris,
from
the
John
young
for a
monk?
while. Yeah, I've not heard from
Monk.
John for a while, but Adrian's good. He's a good guy, Adrian.
Yeah, doing well still.
Yeah, he's retired like you, Kiko, man of leisure.
Yeah.
I laughed when I saw a video and
He's got a nice £90,000 Volvo XC90.
I was laughing when I
Yeah.
saw a video where he goes,
XE, is that a electric?
No, XC.
I'm sorry.
XC.
that's a trim level.
John is
Yeah, he's
still a
a good-
working man, right? He's still young enough. He has to work, right?
No, he's retired.
John and Zen?
Oh, not John. John's the last to work.
Right. I thought he's still just in his 50s, right? Barely.
Yeah, he's about the same age as me and Christy.
Right. And the young monk, Chris, he's late
49.
40s, I think he said.
Yeah, he's still busy with making his money.
Yeah, he's in IT, right?
49.
Hey, Tony, so how many kilometres has that Hilux got on the clock?
I don't even know. I didn't even really look yet. I haven't had time to.
When you bought it, it had 0 miles, right?
I don't know. Did you even look when you bought it?
Come on. You fucking look at nothing. You
I was
don't
driving out on the street, Simon, so it couldn't have gone too
No.
Well, it come
Listen,
off the fucking
listen.
showroom forecourt, Kiko.
Listen, I gotta tell you the shit works here. Totally different.
What
First
was
of
it?
all,
30,000?
they work 9 to 5. They don't work fucking weekends. They work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Ain't no fucking 9 to 9 like it is in the States.
Yeah.
All right.
No
Oh.
Saturdays.
Hey, I've got a question, Kiko.
So wait a minute. I go in there and I see it. So I said, yeah, well, look, I'm fully expecting. I had no conversation about it. I'm like, I'm under the impression that the salesperson is the one will go out, and drive out the street. So we get in there and I like sitting in the passenger seat and listening. I can feel all that a lot better. So we take a little trip around the parking lot in the car barn, inside. And I said, "What the fuck do you want me out in the street?" Well, they won't let us take them out there. What can mean? So this little jaunt through the fucking yard is all you get. MSRP, nothing fucking lower. MSRP, period. They don't deal.
So I bet there's under 100 clicks on it, easily.
Oh,
Maybe under 40.
well, the thing that fucked with me was, when I get out there, I'll let you know, because it's been a couple of weeks now, 2 weeks. I every time I go up there, I'm thinking,
You get out there, it'll be up on blocks. Your wheels and tires will be gone.
yeah,
It's like Chevy Chase, huh?
nah, not that.
In the movie.
I've got a question, Kiko.
Go ahead.
Is it
Hey.
only the
Answers are £5. Correct answers are 10 quid. All right.
Yeah.
You know, man.
All right.
is it only the Italian Americans that every other word begins with an F?
No, there's others.
You just say it, man.
Probably some of the Brit expats here too. Probably the
What the
same way.
fuck did you just say, people?
Hey, Tony, what colour's that Hilux? I've not seen it yet.
It's medium,
It's like charcoal, right?
meteor gray. Nice
Like a charcoal grey.
color.
Black leather.
Everybody in
In that hot
the
Philippine sun.
everybody in the fucking talk.
Is it automatic or manual?
Man, automatic.
Automatic. He doesn't
Ah,
mess
the
with
fucking
me.
lazy American.
let me tell you and anybody else that thinks of driving a stick over here. Out of your fucking mind.
I like the stick, Tony. Well, Maria does.
Yeah.
If you drive a stick shift here, be prepared to fucking need to get some work out.
Well,
Because-
Maria likes the stick shift.
Just like she likes a 69.
Yeah, that's the one. That's my favourite number, Tony.
Oh, my God.
Is he frozen?
He's frozen.
No.
Hey, what happened to David? He said, fuck it, I'm out of here.
Yeah, what happened to David? I think you revealed his real age and he disappeared.
He couldn't get a word in edgewise, so he left.
Yeah, so he fucked off, Tony. You scared him.
Kiko kept fucking talking. David knows me by now.
Yeah.
He probably got a direct order from your ladies.
So has the foundations been laid, Tony?
Oh yeah. The walls are going up.
Good.
I was out there Wednesday. The mother-in-law's birthday was Wednesday, so they didn't work Thursday.
You got the cement floors poured yet?
I was just gonna get around to saying that.
Okay.
When I was up there, the third bedroom had been topped off, with dirt, and the living room and kitchen area was next. So I'm under the impression by the progress though.
Hey Tony, in the bathroom in the CI, are you gonna have a bum gun?
They should be laying fucking concrete next to it.
Or are you gonna use the taboo?
He doesn't know what that is, Simon.
What?
The
A
what?
bum gun?
You think
Or are you
Tony's going to have one
gonna
of
rely
those?
on the taboo?
What?
Probably going to have
I
someone do
I
it
hope you're
for
gonna
him,
get
Simon.
them. I hope you're gonna get them tinted windows, Tony,
I do. I got them.
with the mosquito nets.
Yeah, put the skin on it.
Yeah.
Screens on your windows, right?
Yeah, the mosquito screen. Gotta have them.
You going to have those?
You Polish?
Yeah. Have jealousy windows.
Where's the other Americans, Kiko? I need
jealous.
another couple
That's
up here.
Which ones?
Ronald,
Ronald.
come up.
I don't know. Ronald's a little
Ronald.
early out on the West Coast.
Oh, it's a bit early for Ronald yet.
Where's the wife there, Simon? She home yet?
She's working till 5, Tony. She's got to do 8 hours a day now to pay away. And Filipinos, you can't spoil them, Tony.
Did she take a shower?
She's already commented, so you don't read the comments, so that's why you
Yeah,
wouldn't know.
she's been in the comments, but I know she's still
I got two
on the help desk.
puppy.
You're too far away from the screen to see the comments, I guess.
I'm too far.
I think that's down. I think that's down to that Belgian bear, Kiko.
Yeah.
I'm impaired.
There you go. She's doing a course while she sat on the reception.
You sit farther away from the microphone than Michael does.
As long as he don't start growling like Michael, that'll do.
Yeah,
As long as you don't let the trolls up like Michael did.
Even if I was as wasted as him, I don't think I could stand myself. I think I'd shoot myself.
Oh, you're doing your learning courses on the job there, huh?
When your whole
In your
life,
free time.
when your whole life consists of something fucking YouTube. You got some nice tail, you get beat out. Shit.
I tell you what, Tony, if I had that brand new truck, I'd be all over Mindanao right about now. I'd be driving all over the place.
Hey,
My only worry would be where to park it when I go in to
that's the problem.
eat or talk to people.
My problem here is lack of respect for other people's property. People don't give a fuck about it. They don't care how much you bought it for. They don't care for fucking nothing. Nothing. I said to my wife today, I said, why was that? I don't know. You're telling me it's different? That's what I've heard. Nobody here gives a shit about anybody else's fucking property. 90+%. Course? What are you doing a course? She got a class or what? Class about what?
You know, when you go to work, they've got other courses they got to take. You know, like
Oh,
how
no,
the
I don't.
company operates, how they're, huh? You
Look,
never had to take any courses when you're driving a bus?
well, is this job related? Or, enlighten me.
It's at work.
Hey,
Yeah.
Maria doesn't want to end up just a receptionist. She wants to be the manager.
All right.
Yeah, my recliner
Anyway,
snack.
but hey, Dennis, from your question, well, I always say to Maria, make sure you know how to do these pigeons because they'll earn more money than you can in a week.
Oh, man. What a fucking turd. Yeah, they don't have to be in their back.
Hey, I've got a question for Kiko.
Okay, another one.
Another question. You don't have to answer it.
Don't.
You can say no comment.
Okay.
But like me and Michael, we've got mixed blood. Tony's Italian American, a little bit of Irish. I'm half Irish, half English. Are you a true American?
I don't know what a true American is, Simon.
Oh,
Well, have you not
No
traced
people
your
were here back
family
then.
tree? Have you not traced your family tree?
My grandfather got off the boat from Poland.
Ah, so
He
you've
was
got a
an
bit of Polish.
he was an
That's all you
immigrant
got.
from Poland.
There you
That's
go.
all
So
you
you've got some mixed blood.
My mother's side was German, probably a little Scottish. So
So
yeah.
you're more Heinz 57 than me and Tony.
Probably, yeah.
What's Christian saying? Every girl wants to be the boss, so they earn more money. Not everyone understands there is more responsibility. That's true, Christian. That's very true.
So I'm only a second. What would that be? A second generation American from on my father's side, but my mother's side it probably goes back another generation or two.
Yeah, but you only class yourself American because you live there, right?
You know what this country? I've said from country.
Yeah, I don't consider myself anything hyphenated.
They've been a
I'm just
country
someone who's born in the U.S.
Yeah,
200
that's what I'm
years.
saying.
And I'm only the second generation.
And Simon, I don't like when people say American. That you could be American from a southern tip of Chile to the northern tip of Canada. So there's South American, Central American, North American.
Oh,
So
that scratches the point, Kiko. So
I'm from the
this is a
U.S.
question for Dennis. Dennis, are you American or are you Canadian?
They don't like South Americans. Don't like being referred to as South
What, Tony?
Look, when sharing is caring.
Hey, Christian, that's true, but I have yet in my life to have a woman pay for my life. That's never happened, and
No.
at my age, I don't think it ever will.
No.
Well,
I wouldn't know what it would be like for someone to pay for anything in my life.
Well, I'm training Maria now, Kiko, so she can pay for me.
When my kids, if they ever start giving me all this, life is hard, I can't afford it, and they're single, right, trying to survive,
Yeah,
I'll tell them try raising 7 kids.
there you go. So they won't have a clue.
Not just have to look out for yourself.
They won't have a clue.
With a ton of other mouths to feed.
These kids there, Kiko, they think money grows on trees.
But when other folks have never experienced what you have, or don't have their minds don't.
There you go.
They leave. Simon, they get out of university. They expect to be driving a BMW and live in this large mansion. And
who's going to pay for that?
I like
their credit cards. That's what it does.
I like the people in college. They have a freedom of fucking chiming in on whatever. Their lives haven't even been touched.
Hey,
they get out with a couple $100,000 college tuition debt that they got to pay with interest.
I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that.
Yeah, it depends what school you go to, right?
Play.
But the thing is, Kiko, there's a lot of people that go to college and then go on to university and they come out of that and then That's it. They don't do anything.
Right.
You,
Because they got a degree where all they can do is say, would you like chips with that?
Maria,
I call them textbook experts,
Through window.
Kiko.
Maria,
Textbook experts.
what did you
Yeah.
miss? What missed a lot, though.
There you go. Look, Maria said I can't retire yet, Tony. Maria won't let me retire yet.
Who's got the birthday coming up?
Christian says in his life, he's only ever had 2 presents from girls in his life.
Oh yeah,
I bet one of them presents was a packet of condoms.
yeah, one was a fucking syphilis or something.
You're not counting the free presents, Christian.
You don't know muck dog, man. Oh my god. Yeah, what we had here? We had almost 2 hours, man. Gotta go private so we can talk about other people. Man, we've been getting pretty good following in the last couple of weeks. I'm 7 million. Shit, I have to hope for that. I'm at 10 tonight. We're not an instigating channel on times. Shit is the way it is. There's either right or wrong about the way it is. So
That's a foursome, Christian.
it's not my personal opinion, but when you get to be a little older, not that we're ancient, obviously, but you know a little bit about a lot of things. And all we ever say or mean is in trying to help somebody understand or achieve, understanding where they should be right now. If you are 50, if you are 60, 65 years old, if you don't know your place in this fucking world, you're fucked. You know, you're the one with experience, whether it be good or bad. You either got together by morning. None of us here have had it great from the start. We've all, fucked up. Whether, self-induced or not. But when we talk about stuff, we have a bit of knowledge about the situation. And if you're this age, or this point, if you can consistently want to put the blame on someone younger or different, you're a fucking asshole. You don't learn from your shit. Like you heard when you were a kid, if you don't learn, you don't know. Every action you take.
That's the best present, Christian.
It's a gift, man. But still, we all know if we haven't learned from what we've all had different, maybe similar experiences. So,
Yeah, but Tony, some people never learn.
they never do, but you kind of always hope that they do because there's usually other folks involved.
Don't you feel sorry for them?
Yeah, well, pathetic, man. But I feel for the folks that are affected.
What about the twit? Have you got a soft spot for the twit?
I know. I honest to God, man, the dude knows. He knows. He knows. And God, you go and you create a situation and you bring life other lives into this world, and you've made promises you can't fucking keep. Because if they knew the truth about the end game, I mean, you're fucked. You know, you are fucked. And God shame on you for making them think that they got the world by the ass and factory line. It is low. And you didn't think you'd ever notice? You're a dumbass. You've been practicing that kind of bullshit since fucking day one.
You know
Yeah,
what,
you've
Tony?
got to have some compassion, Tony.
No, I ain't got a fucking nothing, dude.
You've
Tony,
got to have some. Come on, you're human.
I got compassion for the effect of the
You know-
children.
You know what I would like to see, fellas? All these YouTubers say, I don't know what to do for content, you know. And why don't you go talk to a lot of these Filipinas, and they're probably older, some almost our age, who were in that situation where a foreigner,
the life,
they were living good, and then all of a sudden the foreigners
It
gone.
got took away. Yeah, that's right, Kiko.
and
That's what I'd
see
do.
what their stories were and how it affected them.
That's what I'd do,
That should be
Kiko.
some YouTube content, right?
That's what I'd do, and that'd get a lot of views, in my opinion.
Right. You go out and talk to these ladies, and they could be probably from their 20s all the way up to our age, or maybe even older. You know,
I think Tony's just left to take the piss out of his wiener.
I guess.
I can see them. I can see them cans lined up there, Kiko.
Right,
It's like
right. All them dead soldiers up there on the
it's
windowsill.
like Tin Pan Alley. He just needs
Right.
to do a slingshot with one of them
Right.
catapults he's got on go.
Yeah, he's got dual barrel catapult.
He's got the double shotgun there. He can take some aim at them Tin Can Alley there on the shelf,
Good man.
and maybe with a goldfish.
We're at 2 hours and 2 minutes, so we're gonna.
Okay, we're gonna go private, huh?
Come on, Christine and Dennis, come up before we go private.
Yeah, hurry up.
Come on, press that button.
Last call.
Last call, Tony. Call the Viking and Dennis up before you end.
I don't have to go home, but you can stay here.
Dennis might be making bacon. It's a bit early on a Friday for him to finish, even though he's a multi-millionaire.
Look at that, man. He got the same avatar as fucking 8 years ago. Huh? All right. Well, I'm gonna leave the streamer link up on YouTube. So,
Hold on, I'm going to get more Kleenex.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dennis got to go get some more
I got more
Kleenex,
Kleenex.
bro, for the
gotta
sob
get-
stories.
you
I
gotta get
ran out
more
of Kleenex and I got to use the toilet paper, for God's sake.
You quit wiping up your semen with that shit.
No, you got to stop talking about crying, Tony. You said you only cried like once in your life, so
Is that what it is? Once.
Dennis needed the Kleenex. Hey, Christian.
Oh my God.
Hey, Kiko.
Okay, Dennis, have you ever had a woman pay for your life or buy you something really nice
Don't
or
start
anything?
them
Well, my second wife actually paid for a couple of trips, but
Damn.
Second wife, Dennis
Well-
is a glutton for punishment.
on. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I know, yeah. But that's after I think the rate. I don't count, but the ratio was
Everybody,
maybe,
everybody say goodbye to
50-1. But actually,
Goodbye, chat.
She did pay
Come on. Come on.
for a trip, and she bought me a present to go swim with the sharks, and I started laughing. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, good night. Good night. Say good night, Dad. Wait, we got all these freaking undercover fuckers here.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Sue Ellen.